So I did a video yesterday about how God uses all things for the good. And it's such a gift when you really grok that, when you really understand it on a soul level, because that allows for you to just accept reality, which means you suffer less. You don't fight against what is. You accept it with the understanding that there is an ultimate reason for it and that God knows what that is, and you trust in God. Right? So I want to talk about some specific things, some specific examples of how that understanding allows me to not get upset or be anxious about when things don't go my way. So I'm in a situation right now where I had come to stay somewhere, and it was supposed to be a mutually beneficial thing where I was going to help someone remove furniture and items from their apartment that they had vacated early. They had paid up a few months on their lease. They had left all of their things, so it was empty. The space was empty. I was going to stay there, and in exchange for me staying there, handle the selling of their furniture and the removal of their things. So it's supposed to be mutually beneficial. That didn't work out. The person ended up deciding to sublet the place and give the person who's going to sublet it the furniture, which means that I'm not needed. But based on the agreement that had been made, I had made arrangements in my life, right? Like I picked up work in the city where that apartment was. I made plans accordingly. And I turned down work in other places based off of this because I thought I was going to be in this apartment for 2 months. Okay, that's disappointing. It's annoying. But at the same time, I don't sweat it because I understand, first off, I have no control over it. No control. And I don't know what God has for me that is better. There's something better coming. I know that. If you're submitted to God, God is great and God will deliver wonderful things. So, I'm on my toes right now. I was scrambling, not really scrambling, just I reached out to some people in Florida because I live in my car, okay? I live in my car. I'm mobile. I can travel. I can pick up work here and there. So, I have a few days to get out of this space, having thought I was going to be here for 2 months. Today is Thursday. I have to leave on Saturday. So I reached out to someone through Wolf. I picked up a gig. I'm going to Wolf on a homestead in Florida. It's taken care of. Okay. So another example. The work that I had lined up here, the work I've been doing in the time that I have been here at this apartment, I was going to be able to make close to $400 over the next 2 days to aid me in my trip to go to Florida. I get in my car to go to work. The lady just called me. She's sick. In the past, I would have been upset, disappointed. Not upset at her, but just upset in general. Wow, I'm losing this money. I could use that for change my oil. I could use that for gas money. I don't think of it that way. I'm concerned about the lady. That was my first concern. Sorry she's feeling bad. Can I do anything to help her? And also, maybe God's preventing me from getting in a car accident. Maybe I'm going to meet somebody today when I go to the cafe that now I'm going to go to instead of going to work for her. You see, there's so many possibilities. Also, oh God, there was a main story that I was going to tell you guys. The biggest lesson in all of this, how I came to grok this entire concept and come to know it and have faith in it, that God knows better, and so that I can accept reality with that understanding, is that when I was living in the woods, when I had brain damage, when I was at my most vulnerable states that I have ever been in as an adult, because I became once again like a little child, what God revealed to me is the truth of the characters of the people that I was surrounded by. Because you truly see a person's heart and character when you are completely vulnerable, when you cannot defend yourself, when you are not cognizant enough to make arguments for yourself or to speak the truth of your perspective or your opinion or say what it is that you wish to be done. When you can't do any of that, when you can't stand up for yourself, when you're at the mercy of others, you see the hearts of others. And I saw things that I wish I had never seen when I was in that situation. It broke my heart. When people show you who they are, believe them. Otherwise, you're gaslighting yourself and you end up hurting yourself because you're going to allow that person to continue to hurt you because they showed you who you are. I've since gotten better, right? And the people who showed me their hearts and that their hearts were not kind and that their hearts were cruel, there are people that took advantage of me. There were people that made fun of me, that laughed at me, that scoffed at me. Okay? These things went on when no one else was around. Like I said, I was much like a little child. You can tell a lot about people how they treat animals and how they treat children. Because when someone's alone with a child or with a dog, they know that whatever they do in front of that child or that dog or to that child or that dog, no one else is there to see it. And also that child or that dog can't really put into words or understand what has happened to tell another person. So they feel like their secret is safe because there's a power differential there. Right? So being like a child, I saw, I witnessed, I experienced the truth of the people around me. And when I got better, when I got all my faculties back and I came back into the world, guess what? Those people hid from me. And they continue to hide from me because I see them now. We both know the truth. And they also know that I'm not scared to speak the truth. Right? Now, I don't go out of my way to put people on blast. But if they come at me and they point the finger at me or they, lie on me, well, they know that I know the truth, and then I'm not scared to speak it. So these people hide from me now. And that's a gift from God. So what I'm saying is your trials, your tribulations, your hardships, those are gifts too. Because it will reveal not only your character, but the character of those around you. You learn so much about a person, about how they respond to hardship and challenge and power differentials. And not only have people hidden from me, but there have been people who have come back around and decided not to take full responsibility, but to... I've had people kind of give me a general apology, like not apologizing about their behavior, but apologizing about the whole situation. Very vaguely, like, I know that you saw and went through some difficult things, and I'm so sorry for what you went through or how it was handled by everybody. I've had that happen too, where someone wants to come back into my life, but they still don't want to take full responsibility. And then that's hard on me because I want that person in my life. I love them, but I have to be careful not to do them a disservice by not expecting them and to be accountable and holding them to accountability, because that's what love does. I want that person to be able to step into their full greatness and their full glory. They can't do that if they hide from themselves and they hide from the things they've done and they don't take responsibility, because they're hiding from themselves and they're lying from themselves. They can't forgive themselves and move on. They'll continue to seed lies into their environment and be under a delusion. So I know this is kind of rambly, but I think you get what I'm saying here, is that all things are for the good. And sometimes we only come to understand that by falling into a deep, deep pit and climbing our way out and noticing who helps us on our way out and who doesn't, or who kicks us back down into the hole as we're trying to climb out, or who mocks us. God corrects his children because he loves his children. He wants us to grow and to learn and to choose him. God doesn't make us do anything. He's given us free will, because that's what love does. Love liberates. It doesn't force. If you have to force someone to follow you, it's not real love. It's fear. It's fear. And that says nothing about a person other than they might be cowardly. So we should respect God's power. It is awesome. But I don't believe we should fear God. We should fear the natural consequences of what occurs when we don't accept the love of God and be true to God. That's what we should fear. We should fear our own nature, or our own tendencies to go astray and to not trust. So have faith and know that everything is for the good. Everything is for learning, is for growth. And believe people when they show you who they are.